Are you one of those people who just can't figure out why you forget things? Why it's here today and gone tomorrow? Well, you're not alone, and this podcast is for you. The Ebbinghaus forgetting curve is what we're going to be discussing today, and it's 140 years of neuroscience proven. It says that we forget 70% of what we learn in 48 hours unless we review it. Today, we're going to talk about how we could beat our brain into submission, stop forgetting things, and continue improving regularly in our English. Let's get into it.
Learning made fun, here to stay. Massive Maw.
What you're looking at right now is the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, and it shows that we forget information quickly unless we forget it. After just 1 hour of one of your lessons with MassiveMall.com, David Blue, you will forget around 50% of what you have learned. And by the end of the day, you might forget up to 70% of what you've learned. And after the entire week is up, it's all gone. 90% of that information can be lost. Mainly, the only thing you might remember is you had a class that week, and you might remember some overall details. But the stuff that you most likely studied, the stuff that you most likely prepared for, it's gone. And that's why the saying, here today, gone tomorrow, is so powerful for us. Matter of fact, I'm willing to wager that saying you might forget tomorrow. You get the joke? All right. So what can we do to make sure that the information that we have is here today, here tomorrow, here the next week, the next month, the next year, and something that you could continually benefit from until it just becomes routine and habit? There are 3 techniques that we're going to be talking about here today. The first one, let's get started with the first one. The first one is, according to MIT, that is a technical school, in 2019, the first 90 minutes is your peak memory. That means when you wake up, the things that you do within that 90 minutes is very important. That's when you want to try to remember things, when you want to study. So if you can, if at all possible, try to take a 20-minute English course within those 90 minutes of waking up. That's when you're going to remember the most. The next thing that we can do is the movie line trick, or any kind of thing that you want to remember. Try to remember it by recording it on your phone. My phone is over here in front of me. Try to record whatever it is that you like right here on your phone. Why is that? Well, the fact is, your brain loves hearing you speak. In 2022, UCLA did a survey, did a test, and they found that if you mimic the things that you want to remember, you will remember it far greater. What does that mean for us? Well, that means that if you take a movie clip, take a lesson, take anything that you want to remember, and you record it with your own voice, you have a greater chance of remembering it. Think about this. The music that you remember, especially English music that you might remember, why do you remember it? It's because you find yourself singing it. Not only is the beat, the sound probably very good, but when you start singing along to the music, then your brain is going to dedicate more memory into it. It's going to remember it because it thinks it's important, mainly because it's coming from you. Your voice is the key. So, the next time you hear something that you like, the next thing that you want to remember, record it. But don't just record it in a boring old voice. Try to record it with enthusiasm. Exaggerate what it is you're trying to remember. So here's your challenge. Watch a YouTube clip, and I provided one in the description below because it has many, many popular English quotes and English one-liners. Take those clips and choose one and record it into your phone or whatever recording device that you use. But again, don't just take and just record it with a regular voice. For example, you might say, one of the most popular in America.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You can't handle the truth. Another very popular quote. But don't say, you can't handle the truth into your recorder. Say, you can't handle the truth. And if you say it like that, believe me, you're going to remember it. And from now on, when you find a quote, find something that you like in English, record it, and then review it. Your phone usually has a way of recording anything, and that is going to be number 2. Record your voice saying things, and you're going to remember it that much better. Now, what is the last thing that we wanted to remember? The last segment, the last tip that we want to remember is don't study words. Study phrases. Study sentences. And if you study sentences instead of just a word, you'll remember it that much better. That's why I always encourage my students at massivemall.com to read. Because when you read, especially if you read out loud, you're going to remember far more vocabulary than anything else. According to Stanford University in 2020, they found that you have a 400% better recall, better memory if you read a story or if you relate your word, your vocabulary word to a story. So, what do I mean by that? Well, let's take a look at 5 words. Let's do 5. Big, cat, run, happy, apple. Okay, so those are 5 words. Now, you probably know what they are. I gave you some simple ones simply for the sake of the podcast. Big, cat, run, happy, apple. So let's say that you want to remember those words. Now, if you just remember those words, it's going to be very, very difficult. After a while, you're going to forget them. But you may remember them even for your test. Maybe you're having an exam. You'll probably remember it. However, if you want it to remain in your memory for a longer period of time, then what you want to do is make it into a story. A little sentence, that's all it takes. A big cat runs with a happy apple in its mouth. So now that you said it in a story, your brain has a way of relating it into something more important. And that is going to improve your memory far more better. According to the science, 400%. And remember, if we follow the other step that we just talked about earlier, if you record it onto your phone, even better. And if you did it in the morning, even better, more better. Don't follow my English sometimes. Okay, so what is another way? Visualize it. Visualize it. Make it into an image. And now you have it in an image. A big cat runs with a happy apple in his mouth. Now that you have the picture, guess what? You're going to remember it even better. So that is your next one. Always take your vocabulary words, the words that you want to remember, and turn it into a sentence. And even better, make it into a visual image and then put it in your smartphone. The visual image, the words, and the sentence. And I can guarantee you will remember it even better. Let's take this sentence, for example. Let's take 5 words, and this is your challenge for this segment. Take these 5 words and turn it into a sentence. Sun, dog, laugh, jump, and book. Those are your words. Now take them, make a sentence. And if you make a weird sentence or a funny sentence, even better, because remember, your brain likes to laugh. And it remembers things that are funny far better than remembers anything else. So that is the next one. So, what did we learn today? Well, we learned 3 techniques to help beat your brain. And if you regularly review everything each and every day, then you're going to retain that information. Instead of the information going out one, what's that saying? There's a saying. I could tell you one, a new idiom, a new saying. In one ear and out the other. There's another phrase for you. And if you review things, it will go in one ear and it will stay. And that is what we want. Okay, so that is what the lesson for today, the podcast for today. Thank you very much. And I look.
Learn to speak it right with massive more. Some more. Straight and bows and fuzz and stress, massive more. Slang and EM, say and Lou. Say it more. Slay in like that massive more. Finger smooth it play, don't fear late. Chew a penis more. Say it bold, it's your turn. Massive more. Speak it right all day, every lay. Massive more. Say it loud and don't delay. Massive more. Learning made fun, here to stay. Massive more. English your way, it's massive more. Yeah. Massive more. Massive more.
Massive more. Massive more.
Massive more. Massive more. Massive more. Learn to speak it right with massive more. Street or smart, it's all massive more. Nouns and verbs, no stress. Massive more. Slang and idioms, say less. Massive more. Grammar rules that click. Massive more. Speak it smooth and quick. Massive more. Chill, repeat, and learn. Massive more. Say it bold, it's your turn. Massive more. Speak it right all day, every way. Massive more. Say it loud and don't delay. Massive more. Learning made fun, here to stay. Massive more. English your way, it's massive more. Massive more.
Massive more. Massive more.
Massive more.
Massive more.
Massive more. Massive more.